I'm like being so angry with this. Like I should be happy. Well, why should I be happy for Insavir? Like he's paying money to be on that hangout. Like he could be over here for free. Anyways, welcome everybody. Sundays with Napalm, the most consistent. I don't know. It's a show. That's all I know. Also, okay. So I had this scheduled for like an hour and a half already because Christy Winters started her her recap of how much of a horrible shit show mysticism. I don't know what the organization that did MythCon was, but basically they invited a bunch of shitheads, and then all of the non-shitheads pretty much like go to the convention anymore, and it failed horribly. Like it it was worse than a TNA or Global Force Wrestling show. Global Force Wrestling can at least get 500 people to go to their fucking garbage wrestling. Sorry, Zen, I talked over you. Also, Zen's here. But yeah, so I was watching that, and then Insavir popped up in the hangout, and I was like, wait, is that fucking Insavir? And I asked him on Skype.
Like, you go to the chat.
I asked the motherfucker on Skype, and he didn't answer me back, so me and Zen have basically just been sitting here for like fucking almost like 30 minutes, just like, is that fucking Insavir? I think that might be Insavir, and then it was Insavir. So yeah, that's how my Sunday morning has been going so far. Thrill a minute. Slept outside last night.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. There's another bat.
What? You cut out a bit.
There's another bat.
Oh no more bat. Like it's getting colder at night, so I think the bats have finally scurried away to their hubby holes. Also, I'm not going to talk about Trump because I'm saving up that anger for a proper video. Suffice to say, I'm not a fan of his handling of Puerto Rico.
The stupidest are like, yeah, I like the way he. Oh, I fucking saw something on Twitter, or not Twitter. I saw it on Facebook. It was like people were like, oh, he helped. He sent like $1 million to Puerto Rico and sent to FEMA. Sent FEMA and all this shit. It took everything in my power not to go. Are you fucking kidding me? It took him how long to do anything for Puerto Rico?
Like a fucking week. Maybe even 2 weeks. Like it took him 2 weeks at least. The fucking they knew the fucking hurricane were coming. Like the shithead Trump supporters who I spent the better part of a fucking muting on fucking Twitter because at this fucking point I don't want to fucking see it anymore. Like you defend Donald Trump after this shit, I'm punching you. Like.
Yeah.
Fucking Donald Trump's so fucking awful at this point. Like, I think I might be a theist now. Because the only way I can the only way I can rationally comprehend someone being this fucking just awful and heartless is the fact that he lacks a human soul.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty fucking sure, like, Adolf Hitler would be like, dude, you're being a real fucking asshole right now. Why are you attacking the mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico? That's a fucking dick move, dude. Anyways, if you excuse me, I gotta go back to planning my final solution.
I think someone on Twitter said that is like even Hitler would be pissed off, and I'm like, even Pol Pot would probably be pissed off at this point.
Like all of them, like Stalin would probably be like, dude, not cool. I mean, It could also be proof of like there's the complete Karen cold reality, just like nothing's out there to care. Yeah, G Raffin. Like also Jim Shin, you're on probation. You're on probation. Just gonna say it. One more smart alecky move from you. You're gonna be Scrub Lord Secundus. Sorry, I was lighting a cigarette. But yeah, fucking just, oh my god, like the fucking the assholes who are like, why is Puerto Rico a foreign country? It's like Puerto Rico has more US citizens in it than fucking 21 states do.
I fucking saw
Puerto
someone
Rico
on
is a
Twitter
territory. Technically we didn't colonize it. That was the Spanish. They did that. But we won Puerto Rico when we fought like Spain during the Spanish American War.
He's not like Andrew Ryan. Andrew Ryan was somewhat competent for an extended period of time.
Well, to be fair,
from day one.
G was like, he's like a really bad Andrew Ryan. He's like Andrew Ryan if Rapture just immediately went to shit. Like day one, like second two, just everything failed.
I actually would have liked to see a fucking like Rapture run by Hitler as like a game. I don't know why. It'd be interesting, I guess.
Yeah, fucking just Trump is just, he's legitimately the worst fucking human ever. Like, he is probably legitimately the most heartless fucking president in modern history. And that's including fucking like Woodrow Wilson. That motherfucker was a Klan supporter. He probably would have fucking not did this shit. He would have been like, you know what? We can't like just leave the Puerto Ricans like helpless. That's fucked up. They're American citizens. They might be brown and they might be inferior, but American citizens nonetheless.
Didn't you want to stay away from Trump so you can make a video about it? Just saying.
Just like, I legitimately just want to wake up one morning and just see, like, just something bad happened to Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump's dick fell off today. News at 11. I mean, yeah, technically, Ben, he doesn't have the body count that Bush does, but give him time. Like, he's pushing for nuclear war with fucking with North Korea. Like, tens of, if not hundreds of thousands of fucking Koreans are gonna die if fucking the flares back up. So Trump will legitimate, like, if Trump does get us back into the Korean War, he's gonna legitimately have the highest body count of any fucking president. Yeah, 8 millions even possibly if you count up like both like South Korean and North Korea. Because like, again, like a lot of people are gonna die in the initial fucking war, but like the aftermath, like the humanitarian crisis that's gonna like just ripple through fucking Southeast Asia, take even more thousands with it.
I don't get how people are surprised of him. Like, oh, you know, we're gonna like totally obliterate North Korea. It's like, oh, people are like, that's a war crime. It's like, yeah, no shit, it's a war crime. But he basically said he wanted to kill terrorist families.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the first time.
Here's the thing, like, technically, like, yeah, beat down North Korea fairly easily in terms of, like, military forces and shit. But, like, again, like, the thing people forget, 90% of North Korea's artillery is aimed at fucking, at, like, Seoul and fucking other South Korean cities, because a lot of South Korean cities are within 50 miles of the DMZ zone. because a lot of those cities got built
Yeah.
up because of the military presence at the DMZ zone.
I guess if we targeted, if we could target at least a good number of them, it wouldn't be as bad. Donald Trump doing that shit, there's no way in hell he.
I mean, they would immediately they would just immediately fire. Like if they knew war was imminent, they would just unleash as much fucking like death on like South Korea as they could.
Yeah, it's true.
Because here's the fucking shittiest thing with Donald Trump. He's not even fucking preparing us for a potential fucking war. Like he's not doing like any kind of fucking troop or ship movements to fucking Asia. So like if fucking something does flare up in like the next couple of weeks or fucking months, like we're gonna be unprepared. We only have so many fucking ships like near fucking Korea. The Pacific. Yeah, I did say it right. For a second, I thought I said the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean, really fucking massive. Fucking Pacific Fleet, but like it's spread out. Like we got to cover a lot of fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Trump's probably watched a snuff film. He seems like that kind of like rich person.
He probably would have funded.
I bet you he would. He's like. I bet you he's like the kind of guy who was at the club at the end of Requiem for a Dream. He seems like the kind of guy to be screaming ass to ass to a heroin junkie.
I need to watch that movie. I've seen clips of it, but
it's not a fun time movie.
Yeah, no, I figured as much. Dead Poet Society. I can watch it on Netflix.
And yeah, like Jimshin brings up like what, like again, like the big like. Yeah, the war is going to be horrible. The aftermath to the war is going to be even worse because, like, fucking China might be like, well, you know what? We're going to fucking do the nation building. Fuck you, America. Because, I mean, Donald Trump's already weakened fucking ties with every other fucking country. I can see Donald Trump totally being like, you know what? Yeah, I'm totally going to just let the Chinese help the South Koreans rebuild fucking like North Korea and integrate it into South Korea. Like that's totally not going to indebt the fucking South Koreans to the Chinese and build a relationship between those two and diminish our relationship with a very vital ally in a very vital region. I'm Donald Trump. I'm president business. Ugh. Also, he's good. He's pushing his tax fucking shit, and it's like it's already fucking shit. It's basically the same like tax. It's the same fucking tax scheme that fucking Kansas had. Didn't work for fucking Kansas.
Isn't Kansas doing kind of shitty?
It's basically fucking voodoo economics 3.0. It's basically like it's the same shit the Republicans keep That's my biggest problem with both of the fucking political parties. When you get down to it, the only issues that they've progressed on in the last 30 to 40 fucking years is gay marriage and marijuana. There's been no other new ideas, really. It's just all basically been like, let's have voodoo economics, but with more words. Maybe freedomnomics. Maybe throw in the word freedom or America or patriot. Maybe throw in some bill writers about like child pornography and stuff, so we can be like, look, if you vote against this bill, you're voting to protect child pornographers. Well, they're both centrist part. Well, the Republicans, like the Republican party, is arguably interest right party, but like the Democrats, like that's the thing. Like that's the problem with having like a two-party system. Like the main parties are always going to be centrist parties.
Yeah. I wish we had like a British system or an Australian
Yeah,
system.
I like. I get why the founding fathers didn't do the parliamentary system. Other things they didn't believe in that ultimately, like, that came to fruition, like in corporations and fucking political parties. I love, like, that's a fun fact to bring up to like when they talk about like corporate freedoms and shit. It's like, did you not like, like the founding fathers didn't like corporations, right? Like Andrew Jackson was the one who fucking like brought that shit on. Because the founding fathers were like, we don't want a situation like England 100 Years' War where the country literally had no fucking money left because they were fighting France for 100 fucking years. So, like, the crown became indebted to a lot of the trading companies, like the East Indian Company and shit.
Very bad.
Which, like, that's like part of the problem that led into the taxation of the colonies, which led into the American Revolution. So, like, the founding fathers were like, yeah, let's kind of like, you know, hamper businesses' ability to get to the point of rivaling the federal government. That's kind of a bad thing. But yeah, like the Republic. See, everything's fucked up now. Like that's the biggest problem with the two fucking party system. If we had like a parliamentary system, there'd at least be a couple of more fucking options, and you'd also have like the whole system of forming a majority fucking government. I'll be completely honest. I think that's the reason Andrew Jackson is Donald Trump. I just was reading the comments. That's why I segued so fucking hard there. I think the reason Andrew Jackson is Donald Trump's favorite president is because he was the one who allowed businesses to incorporate themselves, and that led to, you know, this. Trump might Trump might be the most destructive American president since fucking Jackson, or maybe Johnson.
I'm back.
Andrew Johnson's the reason the fucking South never fucking goddamn progressed after the fucking Civil War. He fucked Reconstruction up because he was like, you know what? I don't really care. I just hate, like, Trump's just a fucking. You know, at the same time, though, like, I said it before the election, Trump's the president we deserve, not the one we fucking need. Like, Trump is basically every awful thing, like, it is to be an American, just concentrated into a living fucking person. He's like the hate monger from fucking. No, not the hate monger. That's from Marvel. He's like that hate sludge from fucking Star Trek: The Next Generation that killed Tasha Yar.
Did they kill an entire planet?
I think it killed an entire planet too. I forgot how they ultimately resolved that because they couldn't shoot weapons at it.
Maybe. How do you kill something?
Yeah,
I guess
like,
you're not on a ship and space it. But
I'm so ashamed of like my country right now. Well, it's our country because you're not like
Yeah.
you're not one of the British people, sadly. I'll be
Well,
honest. I'd rather be in the UK right now dealing with Brexit. I bet you, like, the
yeah.
people in the UK, like, whenever they get worried about Brexit and it's like, oh man, this is really uncertain what's going to happen with our future, like, they probably just look over to America. It's like, well, at least we're not fucking them. I'm willing to fucking goddamn bet you if, like, a hurricane hit the Falklands, like the Falkland Islands, I bet you the fucking UK would be there within the fucking week with fucking supplies and hurricane relief and like getting shit back on fucking track. Like, oh, I know I said I was gonna save this shit, but the more I think about it, just it pisses me off
It
more
raises
and
you.
fucking more. Like, did you see him fucking talking about the ocean? He's like, big water,
Yeah, it's like in the middle of the ocean.
big water, ocean water. It's like, are you fucking four? Do you not know how to construct an adult sentence?
But yeah.
Yeah, Donald Trump really does feel like he came out of like a Soviet, like, this comrade is why capitalism is bad.
Maybe he read all that shit and was like, that's what make America. He's like, that's what makes America great.
Probably. Like, also, like, I saw, like, this was like from years ago, but he did a tweet where he was talking about a quote he said his dad said about him, and it's like, your dad was a fucking Klansman and shipped your fucking ass off to military school because you were a fucking prick.
Yeah. Your dad also didn't, rent to black people, even after getting caught by HUD. He's like, not gonna do it still. It's like, all right,
Let's
great
be
job, Trump.
let's be honest here. Theresa May, she's probably going to be out as soon as like the Brexit shit is like finalized. Like, as soon as the negotiation, I have a feeling the Conservative Party is just going to turn on her and call for on a vote of no confidence and trigger another election. Like, the only reason I think she's still in power is because they're like, look, we don't want to be like Australia. We don't want to have like 8 PMs in the span of like 3 years. We need we need to have a bit of fucking consistency right now if like shit's gonna be good for us. Honestly, yeah, like that too. Ben, like, I think the big reason they haven't also called for a vote now is Corbyn would probably win. Not much Annie on the Moose. Like, I've been babbling about fucking how much I hate Trump. So again, nothing new.
I'm kind of sad that Boku no Hero is over.
I mean, it's gonna have a third season, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be lit.
I know, but we have to wait.
Season
It was
4
like
is
the
gonna
last
be
one.
lit too. Cause I'm reading the manga and shit's getting real.
I'm actually doing that. I'm stuck in like the first season, like the stuff that became the first season.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. Like, I will say, for people who watch Boku no Hero and who are interested in reading the manga the manga takes its fucking time. Like, the first episode is like 4 chapters in the manga.
Yeah, I would skip ahead just to like where the anime is, but I don't know where that would be. Or I guess I could skip a little bit to where I am at, but unless there's vast differences between the anime and manga.
I mean, there's
And if there is,
some.
it's like
but
My
not
favorite scene.
much.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
you
need.
could probably skip ahead. Like the one, I would say if you start reading Illegals, the spinoff manga, don't skip ahead in that one because that like does a lot of like world. I really want them to do like an illegal special.
Who are these? I know like who they are. Is there
So
anybody
the
who's like a
illegals,
hero?
the illegals are basically the Boku no Hero universe's term for vigilantes.
Yeah, no,
Because
like.
hero
Is
is
there
a
anybody who?
hero's an actual profession.
Uh, wasn't Stain one of them or
Yeah,
something?
Stain. So this is a bit of a spoiler for the illegals
Hmm.
manga, but yeah, Stain started out as an illegal. He started out killing villains, but then he had a confrontation with another illegal, basically Boku no Hero's version of Batman. His name is the Duster, and he has like fucking no, I think his name's Knuckle Duster, and he fucking has just these giant. He's just built like a fucking brick shit house. He's like 8 feet fucking tall, and he's got like fucking just brass knuckles, and he just fucking wails on anybody in his fucking path. So like, not gonna spoil everything, but like him and Stain have a confrontation, and Stain has a real paradigm shift after that moment.
I'm thankfully
Because
like,
kind of like Batman, Knuckle Duster doesn't hold the same exact philosophy as Stain, but Knuckle Duster does have a very profound distaste for professional heroes. Oh, hey, Jazzy! Just what? Since Jazzy's here, and I know this, like, what's up with fucking James Cameron going after Wonder Woman? I don't get it.
I fucking only saw parts of that. Is he like shitting on it or something?
I like the movie, but like Wonder Woman is like a step back in terms of like strong female characters, and it's like you said Terminator Genesis was a good movie, and that literally had a scene in it where Sarah Connor was undressing, and there was like a silhouette on a white sheet, and fuck it, it looked like something from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And yeah, he keeps doubling down. Like, that's the thing I really don't get. Like, if he was like, just like, look, I have, I should have worded my opinion better, but like I already said what I said. I'm not going to talk about it. But no, he elaborated on it and like just made it really worse. Because then he started talking about like the attractiveness of of both heroines, and like I don't like. Yeah, Genesis
Maybe
had
he's
some
on
fun
drugs.
parts.
Is Genesis the one
Genesis,
with what's his face, Matt? Whatever the fuck his name is from
yeah, Matt Smith.
Doctor
The
Who.
like the second they get to the second they get to like 2017, like that's when shit really starts falling apart. Like the flashback stuff is fairly fun. There's some changes from the original Terminator where I'm like, look, these punks, like who are these, like why'd you get My Chemical Romance to be like 1980s punks? Like
Wait,
the
what?
punks, yeah, like they got some like indie band to play the punks that Arnold confronts and takes the clothes from, and it's like the punks from the original movie would have eaten these fuckers alive.
Ah,
Also, Kai Jortney is probably Next to Suicide Squad, that's probably the best movie he's ever been in terms of like his acting ability.
Who was he?
He was
Was
Kyle
he?
Reese.
Oh no,
I
I
mean,
mean
I'm not saying
Suicide Squad.
he was a great like, but like you know, he was better than when he was in Battleship. I'll give him that much. Yeah, like Jazzy brings up, like Bill Paxton was one of them. Like Bill Paxton does not look like he would be in like a screamo band. Oh shit, I forgot to put the Discord link in here.
I need to find out who he was in.
I don't think I saw the Jack Reacher he was in. He's getting better. Like when he started, he was like like in terms of like comparing an actor to a wrestler, he was like Braun Strowman. Just greener than fucking goose shit. Just awful. I mean, he's not yet quite like Braun Strowman, because like Braun Strowman's like one of the better things on fucking WWE right now, because you can't have nice things when you're a WWE fan.
Uh,
It's just like, oh, you like this? You like Shinsuke Nakamura? Well, we're gonna fucking make Jinder Mahal the champion, and we're gonna have him constantly just beat Shinsuke and make him look weak. They're gonna fuck up Asuka. They're gonna fuck. That pisses me off so much. I'm like, God, why couldn't she just like retired? Like, I did NXT. I'm fine. I don't need to go to the main roster. I'm done. I'm out of wrestling.
yeah.
Peace.
They should have kept Shinsuke in NXT.
They really should have.
Because him and Hideo probably could like kick the shit out of each other and they'd be great matches.
Or let him go back to NXT for a bit. Like
Yeah.
they let people go back all the time.
Drew
Like
McIntyre.
Cesaro went back to fight Sami Zayn. Oh yeah, Jazzy. Oh man. Also, Jazzy, real quick, since you're a comic book fan, and I've been doing this to literally everyone, check out Boku no Hero. It's good. It's like it's really good. It's kind of become my new Marvel, because Marvel just really fucking disappoints me all the fucking time. So much. Like the captain, like you have it right there. Jazzy has it. That's how you spell it. The first season's a little dry. I will say that it's but it's kind of like this is the world we're built. Basically, elevator pitch for Boku no Hero. It's a world where 80% of the population has superpowers known as quirks. And like the main character is one of the 20% who was born without a quirk, and it's his story of becoming the number one hero. Yeah, I've been looking into like more independent comics lately, Jazzy, because I mean DC's doing pretty good for the like they still got some clunkers, but like man, I really like what DC's doing with Superman right now. Like I really, really love like Superman with a son. Like it just feels so right. Like I love Super Dad so much.
Oh yeah, because isn't he like from a different universe or something?
Yeah, he's like pre Flashpoint Superman.
I think they're. I
I'll
think
be
DC
honest,
is
like it's like the backstory. Like one thing I do kind of like is their they're not like Marvel where they're gun ho with the fucking events. Like they still have a lot of events, but like DC is like, let's kind of out, or let's just have like an event happen in like a particular comic line, like a Green Lantern event or a Batman event. I don't know if Superman's overhyped because a lot of people don't like Superman.
I think like the best
If
thing I've
anything,
seen.
I would argue he's underhyped.
The best thing out of Marvel that I've ever read so far is like the Miss Marvel with or not Kamala Khan being Miss
Oh
Marvel.
yeah, like
That's some good shit. That's some pretty funny shit.
that's been one of the
That's some
consistently
pretty good
better
shit.
things at Marvel. Camilla Khan, Captain Marvel. I mean Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate the fact that Marvel's legacy is like, okay, fans, here's our pitch to you. Every comic's gonna be an event now. That's still not what we want, Marvel. That's legitimately what, like, I did it. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, Jazzy, but I did a video literally titled "Secret Empire is the worst comic book event ever. Fucking fight me."
Uh,
Because it, like, seriously, I will defend that position to my dying breath until something worse comes out. Secret Empire is legitimately the worst comic book event I've ever fucking read.
they should have not had like they should have had Sam Wilson fight Fascist Cap, not like some weird
I mean, technically he did, kinda, because he took the knee, but then like it was actually like the fascist Captain America off guard. It was dumb. It's
Didn't
all
he fight
dumb.
himself?
It's a dumb fucking story to ultimately be like, hey, Nazis are bad people, but not Nazis are good people. So there you go. That's the moral of the fucking story.
Which we had in the fucking 40s. It's like Nazis bad, not Nazis good.
And yeah, just Jazzy brings it up like the other problem is like the Marvel event. Like, there's so many Marvel events now, you can easily predict them because everybody immediately called it out. It's like, you're going to use Cubic, the Deus Ex Machina Cap, aren't you? And it's like, no, we're not. That's not the storyline. And then it's like, that is what the storyline is. Like, every fucking beat of fucking Secret Empire was fucking predicted months in advance by the fan base. Like, I'll say this. I'm not 100% fine with them bringing in the Watchmen into the normal DC universe because it 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 kind of skews things a bit. Also, it kind of diminishes the powerfulness of not Captain, of Dr. Manhattan. Because, like, look, DC, you put a character whose powers are he can fuck around with like physics. You have that in DC. It's called magic. Dr. Manhattan isn't all that fucking special. But you know what? They're actually building a really good mystery around the whole like three Jokers and who watches the Watchmen and the comedian and stuff. Like I might not be down with the premise of it, but the execution of it is good.
When are they gonna bring in fucking V from V for Vendetta?
That would be weird. Technically, they already have V, kind of. he's a Batman anti-hero. I forget what his name is, but he's basically an anonymous member. He's basically an anarchist teeny. He was in Bat. I think he was in Arkham Origins.
Ever
What was his fucking name?
okay, I
Ah,
never played that.
I think it might have just been like Anarchy.
Uh,
Kind of hoping they do a Miss Marvel series. I'll be completely honest though. I also kind of would like to see them do a Miss Marvel animated movie because, like, Miss Marvel, because because her powers are shape shifting and stuff. You have a lot of fun with her in an animated movie.
I was kind of hoping they wouldn't have Peter Parker Spider Man. I thought they were going to go with like Miles Morales.
Well, they have established Miles Morales.
In the cinematic universe.
Yeah, because Donald Glover's character is Miles Morales' uncle. There's a deleted scene where he flat out basically says, Miles, future Spider-Man.
It's like we had so many Peter Parkers. Like it.
Yeah.
It's like have
I will
any of
say
the
this though. I want to see, like, since Marvel's been doing movies, it's like I at least want to see one movie with, like, Peter Parker done right. Because I know people love the Sam Raimi movies. I'm not knocking the Sam Raimi movies. I did not like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. He had a weird, dumb
yeah.
face, and he took the mask off too fucking much.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe was a good Green Goblin.
Yeah, they should have just had him paint up his face. Like, Norman Osborn's going crazy. You could just have, like, William Dafoe already has, like, a Green Goblin face.
That is very true. Very angular.
Brings up. I would also like to see a 2099 movie. Having Spider-Man 2099 on the big screen would be a lot of fun. Plus, then you'd have, like, you not only have, like, white Peter Parker and black Peter Parker, you'd also have, like, Latino Peter Parker, because Spider was Latino. Even though his last name was Miguel O'Hara, but that was because his dad was Irish. But yeah, Spider-Man 2099, like, he's got a cool suit. He's got a cool power set. Because, like, the one thing I did like about, like, because, like, being honest, like, not a good percentage of the 2099 line was kind of shit. But I like the fact that they did, like, okay, this is like the base character. This is what people expect from the character. Let's have fun and kind of give them some different powers, but also it fits into, like, that character.
What was Spider Verse?
Because, like, Miguel, like one of his things was instead of just, like, being able to clean the walls, like just with like just your hands and shit, he had like claws and shit. So, like, he had an extra weapon and shit. Also, if I remember, I know Miles Morales is basically the same way because he has, like, the spider. I forget what it's called. It's like Spider Venom Touch, or I think it's called Venom Touch. Like, the Venom Touch, basically, because of, like, the little spider hair things on his hands and stuff that, like, Peter and him use to climb buildings and stuff. He could basically, like, zap a dose of, like, he could basically fuck with somebody's nervous system for a bit and give him, like, a little bit of a jolt. Oh, you know they actually brought Ravage into the normal universe because Ravage was one of the few characters that was entirely created for the 2099 universe. He ended up being a villain of the Hulk, and he turned into a Hulk, and then the Hulk killed him.
Isn't that what they did? Isn't that what Marvel did recently? Like killing off Bruce Banner? Or do they retcon that shit?
I don't know anymore. Because the problem is Marvel just keeps doing the events. Like that's the only thing that sticks out in your mind anymore. And even then, I don't I forgot I've forgotten about World War Hulk and Silent War. Anybody remember that? The only reason I remember Silent War is because the Inhumans show recently premiered. Oh my god, Jazzy, that reminds me, them killing off that fucking pissed me off so much because I don't know if you know the stuff going on behind the scenes, but the Hulk was cured as Cho in the Hulk series. Asmodeus Cho literally cured the Hulk. He was like Bruce Banner, 100% totally unhulkified. But because fucking Michael Bendis doesn't read anybody else's fucking comics, he was just like, I want to kill off the Hulk in Civil War 2. We need a big character death in Civil War 2. Who hasn't been dead in a while? The Hulk. Let's kill off Bruce Banner and have Hawkeye fucking do it for some dumb fucking reason. Because I saw his eyes. He had a twinkle in his eyes or fucking some dumb shit. They screwed a lot. Miss Marvel, I am so thorough. I am legitimately shocked at what they did with Miss Marvel. I mean, not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, because Carol Danvers is no longer Miss Marvel. I'm so used to calling her Miss Marvel still, though. But yeah, Captain Marvel, they did, they want to make her a movie about her eventually and shit, and they treated her like they've been treating the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. Captain Marvel, I don't know, honestly, if she goes to some of the same villainous, she didn't clone Thor like Tony Stark did. But, she was, honestly, she did come off way more unlikable after Civil War 2 than Tony Stark did at the end of Civil War.
Do you think they're going to do a Thunderbolts movie?
I would love a Thunder. My thing with that though is the same thing with Suicide Squad. It should be a TV series.
Yeah.
Because one of the my big thing with a Suicide Squad movie is you kind of can't do one of the biggest draws from the comic book is the fact that in a standard issue of Suicide Squad, 90% of the characters in the comic die.
Yeah. I forgot who the fuck wasn't Venom a Thunderbolt?
Well, to be fair, Jim Shin, Stark, Skrull, Hank Pym, and Mr. Fantastic joined. Also, the clone wasn't it wasn't a complete clone. It was also a cyborg.
Yeah,
Civil War was fucking dumb.
Isn't that clone the one who killed fuck, what's his name? Put a big old
yeah, fucking poor Bill Foster. No respect for Goliath.
And they just he couldn't shrink down, so they just dug a big fucking hole, pushed his body.
Yeah, they just Tony Stark bought 28 burial plots. it makes me sad. Like what happens? Like I'm still like sad sometimes when I think like it's one of the reasons I like to see Goliath show up in like Ant-Man or something like Damage Control, anything like. He's a guy you could have a lot of like character shit with. Well, I don't know if anybody saw fucking Kingsman Golden Circle, but because Jazzy like she brought up Millar. Sadly, Kingsman the Golden Circle has the Millar syndrome to it, where it's like it start like the Kingsman series has a great start, and then the follow up is just complete fucking garbage. Miller is really good with coming up with like the start of an idea, but like going through with the execution and the conclusion of it, he's really fucking shit with that.
It's like get the good ideas from him and then just give it to other people.
I'm gonna be basically so honest. I was like, I think it was a month or so back. Well, Kick-Ass 2, the movie, is way better than Kick-Ass 2, the comic. Kick-Ass 2, the comic, like, is legitimately a comic that I literally fucking just ripped it up and threw it away after I was done with it.
Isn't Kick-Ass 2 a movie where it's like...
It's like literally...
McLovin is like, motherfucker
there's literally a part in in Kick-Ass 2, the comic, where fucking Kick-Ass's girlfriend gets raped by the bad guy. And Kick-Ass is like, I can't fight the bad guy, but then his dad gets killed, and he's like, that's the final straw. It's like, your girlfriend was fucking attacked, dick.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's so fucked up. Like, Mark Millar didn't use, like, rape as a plot device. He used rape as a red herring.
What the fuck his name is?
Because, like, the first Kick-Ass comic, like, there's some dark shit in it. Like, yeah, just, like, you know, that's kind of going with the territory when you're doing, like, a realistic, like, one of my favorite, like, legitimately, one of my favorite superhero movies is James Gunn's Super, which is about Rainn Wilson as a severely autistic man pretending to be a real-life superhero, and it is thoroughly fucking depressing. But it is so good. I was so confused when I heard James Gunn was directing Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, wait, the guy who did Super and Slither? What?
I don't think I've ever seen Slither.
Like the movie Kick-Ass 2, though, they actually have some fun with that stuff.
Yeah, like, they actually like a game suit.
It's not like a perfect movie, but like it's fun. It's up there with like the first Kick-Ass movie. Sadly though, Matt Vaughn kind of didn't do that with Kingsman 2. Like Kingsman 2 is a lot like Ghostbusters 2. It's like that kind of bad sequel where it's like I kind of don't know what to do with these characters, so I'm just going to put everybody back at square one.
Actually, I like the first Kingsman.
Yeah, the first Kingsman is great. Like, I will legitimately, like, not say, well, there's probably some bad things about Kingsman 1, but, like, it's a great movie. It's easily a 4.5-star movie at the very least, out of 5.
I'm kind of hoping Mr. Glass doesn't turn out to be shit.
Yeah.
They're making it's like,
I mean, look, fucking, what was it? Split.
Yeah, Split was good.
Split was sh- Split was really great. And like, you know what? I was telling somebody the other day, like, Unbreakable is legitimately M. Night Shyamalan's best movie. I know a lot of people love Sixth Sense, but I didn't. Like I immediately guessed like it. As soon as like Bruce Willis like was talking to the kid and stuff, and like the kid was like, I see dead people and shit, and I was like, wait a second, Bruce Willis's wife is like acting all weird to him. She's like completely ignoring him and not talking to him. She's like really depressed. Bruce Willis is fucking dead and he doesn't know it.
Blade Runner.
But like Unbreakable, that has a better twist because like the shit's there. The shit's there pointing at that Mr. Glass is the fucking villain. But like you kind of don't notice it at first because Samuel L. Jackson's really playing against type. Like he's not loud, angry Samuel L. Jackson. That's another reason I like Kingsman. Thinking about it, it's like Samuel L. Jackson wasn't loud, angry, intense Samuel L. Jackson. He was more like like restrained. Like it's fun seeing that Samuel Jackson. Not saying that yelly Samuel Jackson can't be fun. Like he is immensely fun a lot of the times.
He doesn't. He's not really Samuel Jackson when he's playing Nick Fury. He's more just like.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling Nick Fury's gonna die in Infinity War. Oh yeah, I think. Well, you know what? You had like years to watch Unbreakable.
Doesn't diminish anything.
Yeah.
Still good movies. So.
Triumph of the Will makes Nazis look good, Jim. There you go. I spoiled that movie for you too. That's been around since 1930, whatever. I don't know why I went to that. I guess that's because the reality we live in now, like fucking Nazis are back, like we have fucking president heartless fucking dipshit. Ugh. Anyways, back to comic-y.
That's I love watching goofy anime because of this like it's a good escape from the shitty reality.
Yeah, I've been watching like a lot of slice of life anime recently because it's like, you know what? This seems nice. Like, they're like the biggest conflict is like, oh man, are they gonna win the cooking tournament?
I really need to finish the second season of Food Wars. I think it's in the second season where they make a JoJo's reference, which is awesome. It's fuck, what's her name and the other guy? And it's like it's food based stands. It's fucking. I was like, they're making a JoJo reference. What the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
But Shimonetta is a pretty fucking. It's a weird anime, but it's weirdly funny. Because basically, the plot of Shimonetta is like you know how it was like, oh, dirty jokes and like pornography is bad and all this other shit.
Oh yeah, is that
Shimonetta
the
is
one
basically
where it's
that.
like the universe where lewdness is outlawed?
Yes, I think I actually linked the opening or the ending in the Discord at some point.
So like
It's
everybody is
fucking.
just extreme perverts.
Well, no, it's not that. It's everybody's like prudish and like they don't. Nobody's like educated on what sex is and all this other shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking dumb. It's dumb, but it's funny. And like
I mean, yeah, that is something like you have to take into consideration with the Nazi stuff because you don't want to like you don't want to get like Nazism to the point where it's like, oh, like that's like it's like being a vampire. There's like a certain mystical. But yeah, like I just hate them. I hate. I just hate the fact that like we have to deal with this. I mean, to be fair, like it's always been there. Like we've never fully dealt with this shit. It's just always been a festering just wound that's never properly healed over.
Yeah, Jen, the Shimonetta. It's like, Anna's like, some of the stuff with Anna is pretty funny, but some of it isn't. Like her breaking into his house and fucking. The voice actress for Anna actually died too, which sucks. But
also, it literally doesn't. It also literally doesn't help that we have a president who, like, I'm just gonna say it at this point, is a racist.
yeah,
Like he called fucking Puerto Ricans lazy because they're asking for fucking relief help.
do you see that thing from
Like,
SNL?
what the shit? It's like I said earlier. Like, I don't mean to double dip on the jokes, but like, I'm pretty sure like even Dracula, when he like Dracula from Castlevania, would be like, dude, not cool. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go murder all this fucking country because they burned my wife to death at the stake.
At least he had a valid reason.
Need fucking job as president. Take care of your citizens.
That's the problem with
And then he
Dracula.
keeps harping on
Here's
about
too
the
much.
Puerto Rican debt. Like, you know what? Here, newsflash, fucking Donald Trump. Texas and Florida have debts that are double the amount that fucking Puerto Rico has. You didn't talk about their debt when you did the hurricane relief effort there. He's the worst. He's legitimately like just awful.
Yeah, the Central
I mean,
Park
yeah,
5 show
true.
is pretty fucking.
Yeah, the Central Park 5, but like at this point, it's like definitive. It's very. I
Because
mean, to
yeah,
be
like
fair, with the
Hillary
Central
Clinton
Park
also said
5
some.
shit, it was like definitive. It's like these people were proven innocent, you asshole. Like literally, DNA evidence says it's impossible that these 5 people did that shit. Nah, execute them.
Does he still hold that belief? Wouldn't surprise
Yes,
me if he did.
it came up during the fucking campaign, and he doubled down on it.
Fucking Jesus Christ! I mean, it, with all this like nuclear tension with North Korea, it seems like we're heading for Fallout fucking dystopian future.
I mean,
It's
I
like,
wish, like at least in the Fallout universe, they had like Pip Boys and shit, power armor.
yeah,
Also, in the Fallout universe,
yeah,
there's a small percentage there's a small chance that you'll turn into a ghoul due to Fallout.
yeah.
Again, I've said it. I've said this so many times, but it's the truest fucking thing about like the Trump presidency and the current fucking like just world we live in. It's not the darkest timeline, it's the dumbest timeline. Nothing makes sense anymore. Like we live in a fucking Onion article.
Yeah. Actually, just speaking of Fallout, the first Fallout was free on Steam until yesterday. I actually got it.
Shit. I
Yeah,
wish I knew that.
I forgot how I found it. I think it was on some news article or some shit. Or no, I think it was on like my Google the cards thing on my phone. Is like, oh, Fallout, the first one
Yeah,
is
let's be honest, also Avenger. Like Trump probably thought he was gonna lose. He probably was like, "Hey, I could do."
hey, all hell.
Yo,
Hey, all
how are you
hell,
doing?
good. But yeah, like Trump probably thought he was gonna he wasn't gonna win, and he could like parlay like his campaign base into fucking people to buy his shitty inferior products and maybe a book or something. Maybe he gets a TV show on like Fox News or something. But then he won because like you know what? Again, like people go after fucking Black Lives Matter and fucking like the fucking NFL protests and shit. Like, there's a reason that shit happens. Because like a good part of the country is just openly racist, basically.
Yep.
But like a good percentage of the country is either openly racist or fucking secretly racist.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I'm not saying like all of everybody who voted for Trump is a white supremacist, but every white supremacist voted for Donald Trump. That's how I sees it.
And it's like, yeah, not everybody who voted for Trump was a white
Because like,
supremacist, but
because I
for
know
a lot of
better
them,
than
it was
anybody.
fine that he was supported by a supremacist.
I'm
Like
sure.
when the world is scary, you do dumb fucking things when you're politically ignorant. Like when I started getting into politics, like 9/11 just happened, so I became a fucking neocon. But then, like the neocons did awful shitty things, and I was like, I'm not fine with any of this shit. I'm not fine with this Iraq invasion. I'm not fine with like treating gay people like second class citizens. This isn't cool.
It was kind of strange during the election because there were certain people that I assumed were going to vote for Trump at the start, and like halfway through the primaries, they really turned on him. But at the end, they just kind of voted for him just because he was the Republican.
Yeah.
That's
Like
fucking.
I knew a lot of people that like automatically jumped ship with him the minute that he said the thing about autism.
What do you say about
But
autism?
he said something like, I think it's the vaccines thing. He said something about he thought that was
Yeah.
real. And uh, I know a lot of people who have like autistic people in their families, and they like turned on him with that. Like they were just like, oh, fuck him. But when it came down to him and John Kasich, and they saw that he was going up against Clinton,
You
they
know
just
why,
kind of
Jim Shin? You know why people think Black Lives Matter is a nefarious organization? Like, the sad truth of it is, like, a lot of people just don't think black people are fucking citizens, so they don't have the same rights. Like, that's why, like, a lot of the fucking assholes who vote for Trump who are like, I'm all about the First Amendment and the Constitution and free speech and like I voted for Trump because he's un-PC. And then yet, like, they get offended by a fucking athlete fucking taking a kneel at a game. That's the most un-PC fucking thing out there, you fucking shit dick.
uh,
I'm like,
Also, like,
no, I
I
understand the
just hate it.
frustration.
or people like, oh, being PC is bad. It's like we're not white supremacists, but it's like they're those on PC people too. It's like, okay. Is that why
PC
you're
is a
very
fucking term that
wishy-washy?
got taken over by fucking idiots, just like toxic masculinity and fucking and I can't think of the other one. It's gonna come to me. Continue talking.
SJW.
White privilege.
Cultural appropriation.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Because like toxic masculinity and like cultural appropriation, they're like they're like they're like terms that sociologists came up with to describe phenomena. There's just a thing that happens. And then idiots are like, oh, toxic masculinity, that means being a man is bad. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It means there's like, there's negative ideas that are reinforced for men to follow because it's quote unquote a masculine thing to do, like to bottle up your emotions and shit like that.
Yeah. I used to do that. It's not good.
No, it's not.
It'll fucking you would
Like
just blow up
you
people.
punch a lot of trees.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing, Monster, I keep forgetting to take into account with Trump. He is probably like becoming senile.
He's what, in his 70s?
Yeah, he's like 74, 75.
He's got to be like the oldest person we've had as president.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, because he's the oldest person we've elected president because Reagan wasn't 74 until his fourth fucking... No, Reagan wasn't 74 until he left office in his last term.
What we basically have with Trump is senile Reagan before, in office, and nobody controlling what he was doing.
And that's the thing, like Reagan legitimately was going senile during the last like 2 years of his presidency. Okay, Reagan was 71 when he left.
But still.
Yeah, that's still very old.
Trump was like elected at like 70. Oh, Trump's 71.
Oh yeah, didn't fucking Alex Jones say that he was being drugged? Like,
yeah, his sodas were being drugged.
It's like, with what?
Or maybe it's the fact that Donald Trump is like in his 70s and he only eats KFC, McDonald's, and meatloaf.
I mean, this is the guy who stared directly at the sun during the eclipse.
Oh my God!
Like it shouldn't be surprising.
Going back to the Puerto Rico shit, did you see him like talking about like Puerto Rico and how hard it is to ship there? And he's like, it's like there's an ocean, big water, ocean water, and it's like, are you four? Can you not construct adult sentences?
My favorite part.
4-year-old has a better vocabulary than Trump.
Yeah. My favorite part of that whole thing was the initial tweet.
Probably.
It was like, what was it? Something like Puerto Rico was really nice to me before, but then they've been talking to the Democrats and now they're being nasty.
How are they talking to the Democrats, Donald? They have nothing. Their power is out.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know if you saw that, like I literally saw like the most depressing fucking, like, gonna bring the mood down a bit, but literally like every person in one of the hospitals in San Juan in the ICU unit died because there's no power. Everybody died. But, Puerto Ricans are fucking lazy. They want everybody to do everything for them.
Oh my God, there was a great tweet I saw where it was that quote. It was like, oh, the Puerto Ricans want them, people to do everything for them. And it was a picture of him and Melania and just like all his servants and shit. It's like, yeah, Trump, really. The fucking Puerto Rican people are lazy.
There was
And here's the thing. This isn't happening on foreign soil. This is happening on American soil. This is happening to American citizens. If this shit happened under Obama, the Republic, like, they would impeach him immediately. they would
I
be
think Obama's
calling
doing
for his
more
fucking
than Trump is now.
fucking celebrities are doing more than fucking Trump is.
I think
Fucking,
someone on
you know who I completely love now? I hated their music for the longest time, but I'm now a huge fan. Pitbull. He's using his private jet to fly cancer patients out of Puerto Rico to get treatment.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Right on, Pitbull. Good man.
It's kind of a joke, but I swear to God, like Jimmy Carter probably wants to get on a plane and go and build shit, like build houses up again.
He's still building houses.
Like that's what he fucking did. Yeah, it's like he probably wants to get on the plane and go to Puerto Rico, and it's like, I'm going to rebuild some of this shit right now. It's like that's
yeah, they're just holding him back, and he's like, "Let me." That's probably why he wasn't at like the President's Cup. Like everybody's like, he's gonna fucking just punch Trump. It's like you can't do it, Jimmy. He's like, let me out that son of a bitch. I'll fucking kill him.
That would be fucking amazing. Two old men just beating the shit out of me, like just fucking Jimmy Carter kicking the shit out of me.
Yeah. Nobody wants like there's no easy answers anymore because we let shit fucking atrophy to the point where it's like, nah, like shit's gonna take a lot of overhaul and a lot of time. And people don't want that. They want instant gratification. It's why like fucking people are like I get people being pissed at the fucking DNC. I'm fucking pissed at the DNC. But like if you want to change how the fucking DNC works, start fucking voting in the local elections.
Yep.
That's how
100%
you get people to become super delegates and people in the DNC. That's how you change the DNC. Because like the sad fucking truth of it is, and this is true for the third parties as well, political parties are private organizations. Like technically, they didn't screw Bernie Sanders. Like I'm a Bernie Sanders guy. I'm not a Bernie bro. Like because I'm like the DNC technically didn't rob Bernie Sanders. Like they used the rules against him. Like that, you could say those rules are shitty. I do. Like that's why I'm advocating. Like, get fucking people elected. Get people like starting. Get people into that political machine so you can start changing it.
It's kind of bad. I don't know who the hell's running for governor of New Jersey, and I should, because I know Christie's out this year.
Who's
like,
running?
I have no clue. Like I don't know. That's the thing. I have no fucking.
Sorry,
idea.
I thought you.
That's
well, Virginia's got like a weird, like off-year election because like Virginia's got like kind of a weird system with like governors can't serve consecutive terms here. You can serve 2 terms, but they can't be consecutive. And a lot of times, like governors don't even get a second term, so it's pretty much like you get 1 term as governor in Virginia. Guaranteed term as governor.
Over here in Kentucky, it's completely just we have like the worst representatives. I think the past few years have just been like all here for some reason. Like McConnell, fucking Matt Bevin, Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, also Avenger, you can't be cynical. Like you can dabble in cynicism. It's fun. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to be a little cynical, but like that's not the answer to shit. Like cynicism is not an answer. Like it's one of the reasons why I ultimately fell off of South Park with their like because any issue on South Park ultimately fell down to like if you give a shit, you're stupid.
Yeah, I always think that if you go far enough with cynicism, you just kind of eventually get to like milk toast nihilism, kind of.
Yeah,
like, I feel like that's the road that's kind of paving when you go like really far into it. I feel like
you gotta get a little angry. Like you gotta care.
Yeah, like I understand that 100%.
You use like the anger to do shit. It's like
It's why, like,
Yeah.
after like Trump won, it's like, you know what, I gotta do more.
Because like you can take two paths with it, where you can either be constructive or you just kind of fall into this pattern of every week you get more and more pissed off until like you're just like on the verge of having like an aneurysm. And it's good for no one.
Yeah, like
Blood
Romania would
that's
totally be still like like if nobody cared. Everybody was like, well, this is just how shit is. Like, we're just communists. I mean, yeah, I like, that's another big, like, that's ultimately the worst thing George W. Bush did, like, during his presidency. Like, he had a chance to kind of reverse the cynicism. Like, if he was a better president, or like, not necessarily Obama, but somebody at least on the same level as Obama, somebody like of smartness and the ability to give good speeches and diplomacy and shit. Like 9/11 could have been a real fucking turning point for America. Like we could have like not only repaired some of our like damaged name in the rest of the world because of a lot of the fucking shit we did fighting the communists in the like since World War II. But we could have also kind of probably maybe changed a bit of the cynicism that affected American society after the Vietnam War. But no, Bush fucked up. Bush fucked it up, and like it just got worse.
like yeah, it eventually just led to like him
I mean,
professing manifest destiny. So like it was just fucking weird the entire time.
that's why I'm like, I'm kind of mad with people like kind of trying to rehabilitate George W. Bush and being like, he wasn't that bad. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, we got Trump now, and like legitimately, George W. Bush is like a pile of roses next to fucking him.
I've been hearing that more with his dad recently. I've noticed a
That's,
lot of people.
I mean, I could kind of get it. I honestly get rehabilitated H.W. Bush more, even though arguably he he did a nah.
He flipped really quickly with the Republicans because, like, before he got in, he was really like pro-choice, and
I
then
guess
like,
I'm counting like all of his CIA like shit.
yeah, he's. I
Like
think.
before he was president.
was he a vice president? HW.
I think was he Reagan's or
Yeah, he was like, I forget what position he was under Reagan. Was like a CIA agent for a while. And then they're great. Then I think his dad was a Nazi or something.
I have no idea. I
Okay,
think
that's what I'm saying, but like,
the big
okay, yeah, he was director.
Oh, fucking. Didn't he also throw, when he was president, he threw up on the Japanese premiere?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what people remember most about him. So,
I think like the. Go ahead.
But like during his presidency, I guess it's probably easier to like rehabilitate him because he was a one-term president. He didn't really do that much, and like his only real legacies are all the jokes about him, like him throwing up on the Japanese prime minister, or no new read my lips, no new taxes. I remember that fucking joke was everywhere when I was a kid.
To be fair, also like the
He was VP under Reagan.
Yeah, that's why I figured that's what I thought. But
To be fair, too, like all of the attempts to rehabilitate him have usually come from like stories of him saying, like, "Yeah, I'm okay with gay marriage now," or something like that. Which, like, really,
Where the fuck were you when it was important?
yeah, like
Why weren't you telling Reagan to be like, hey, treat all these gay people dying of AIDS like fucking people, you asshole?
Yeah.
Oh, he was director of Intel. That's what he was before being vice president.
Which, like, it's nice that he has come out to say that, but I don't think that necessarily like it doesn't undo all the like damage.
Also thinking about it too, the first Gulf, like Ben brings up the first Gulf War. That's probably America's last really successful war. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like everything else, like we've lost every other war, basically. Even the other war, like even like the war on like things that shouldn't be, like the war on illiteracy. Like look at how dumb Americans are now. Lost that one.
Zen, what were you?
War on drugs. Lost that.
I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. War on drugs. That's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
That one just fucking tanked.
We just makes me sad.
I love that's been like the one thing that I keep thinking about that I love is just thinking of Reagan and like HW talking about the war on drugs and be like, we're really gonna fight, and then like thinking now of like how far it's gone to where Trump is talking about that shit where it's like the wall needs to be clear so no one gets hit with a bag of drugs that's gonna be thrown over it.
It's like you did this.
It's just
Are you
fucking
happy about this?
I imagine Reagan's in hell going, I had Iran Contra, but fuck me, dude. Like, Jesus Christ.
Look at how I handled the AIDS crisis, but like, shit, man, there was at least like dumb religious reasons behind that one. Like, I thought God hated gays, but apparently not.
You ever seen that documentary of, it was something where it was like a collection of recordings from the cameras that are used during like televised debates and stuff, and it's like the camera that just it kind of picks up all of the dialogue they have off screen, like when the live cameras are off, like the live feeds shut off. I think it's called Spin or something. It was really interesting. It was like back in the 90s. Yeah. Like Pat Robertson saying like there was some big protest for pro-choice, and he, like, one of his assistants comes up and like says, "Oh, they're going up there," and he just like says, "No, just don't even bother with it. We need to try to give more support to the Republican candidate that's going in the race right now. We don't need to pay attention to this." So like he just like off screen does not give a shit about it.
He's a person I'm surprised he's not fucking dead.
I am baffled that he is. He's been replaced kind of recently by like that Jim Baker guy.
Baker with what, 2 Ks?
I think, yeah, the buckets guy who's like,
yeah,
Vic Berger makes fun of.
I was so fucking like, I seriously saw something on Facebook with regards to Trump, and it was a picture of Trump and Clinton, and Trump was like, "Oh, it's like it was a family member." And it was like, Trump
also eventually
like
with the Middle East. Because the Middle East is going to continuously have like a lot of strife there, like Africa, because nobody there got to choose their borders except for Israel.
Yeah. And they want to expand their borders under Netanyahu. Turning a blind eye.
It's what, like, I'll be completely honest. I know it's not going to end well, but I really fucking hope the shit with the Kurds work out.
Aren't
I
they
would
trying to?
really be happy if the Kurds had their own state.
Yeah,
Because
we
like
should
the
name
one
that like
the one
go.
group in the Middle East that has every justified reason, and to be fair, there's a lot of justified reasons for why like people become radicalized towards the US because we've done a lot of shitty things. But the one group we have consistently fucked over and let get slaughtered every fucking time, even though we always ally with them, the Kurds. They still
Yeah,
they still like us. I don't understand it.
yeah. We turned a blind eye to what Hussein did to him, all the other shit. It's like not great.
I'm really like surprised a lot of the times when because I know people who don't even know who the Kurds are. Like there are people I know who just think I'm making up shit whenever I tell them about them.
Off, but going back to the thing with I saw on Facebook, it was like Donald Trump donated $1 million of his money to Puerto Rico, sent that FEMA, the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Army, and all this other shit. And the picture for the thing for Clinton was she tweeted. It's like she probably would have done way better than Trump did with regards to
I
fucking
mean, there
Puerto
was a
Rico.
bit of that, Mansoor. There was a bit of that, like whole war is television is good for the ratings, especially during the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Except for when it started it started to get a little too fucking real.
I talked about it in I think it was either the Discord or the chat on one of the other Sunday shows, but there's a picture. It's like one of the first pictures of me when I'm like 3 or 4 years old, and uh, I grew up during W, so like there's a picture of me just kind of looking at TV, and it's from like I think like 2005 or 2006, and it's just kind of saying. Yeah, the Middle East is looks like we might be able to get out of it finally, or something like that. And I was just thinking, oh, it's like looking at that picture and just realizing what's happened since then.
I was in. I can't think of. I was like in
I mean,
middle
to be
school.
fair, the only real reason we ever even flirted with the idea of teaming up with Saddam was when Iraq and Iran had their whole war. But then pretty much after that happened, it was like that was legitimately the only reason Saddam would be ever useful to the United States is like as a counter to just like he overstepped his bounds,
Yeah, I Obama getting elected. I have to say, like knowing now what we all know about like his presidency and everything, like you can argue that he wasn't in certain areas and everything, but I do have to credit him that like his election was kind of the thing that turned me completely away from like conservatism because like I grew
Because it
up in a
goes back
very
to that whole cynicism thing. Like as hokey as his whole like hope and change message was, it's like yeah, that's what like needs to happen more with like presidents. It's like no, we need to talk about like yeah, we're kind of crap, but we can be better. Being
yeah
bad at
I was in
something
like
is the first step of being good at something.
right I was in like middle school when he uh won the election, and I remember like leading up to it, I just growing up in like a conservative family, like a really diehard red. Everyone loved John McCain. So like I remember in one
I
of
mean, to
my
be
class.
fair, that was before John McCain's brain tumor turned him into an asshole.
Yeah, but like I remember I this is honestly like the most pathetic thing I can remember from when I was a kid, but like we were I started a chant in one of my classes that was like that McCain '08 chant that was going around, and I actually started one of those. And like I just think it's funny that like after that, I think a lot of it was like I just saw like a bunch of racism towards Obama from like the like family members and family friends, and that really kind of turned me off from it. And then after a while, I was just like, nah. After he got elected, I was like, okay, I think I don't want to be associated with this anymore. And then I started my trip going farther left.
Yeah, like I'm a fucking full-blown communist now, basically.
Yeah, me too. It took me until after Bernie lost, but I finally got there.
Trump pretty much made me go like, you know what? Any system that could produce somebody like this.
I was a liberal Democrat, honestly, for like the longest time, and that was the easiest way to describe my politics to my family. But after Bernie won, or after Bernie lost, I don't know what it was. I just kind of completely flipped. And I was just like, no, fuck this. I need to go. This is not something that I agree with anymore. And I just kept going farther left. Matt, I hate to go back to it again, Matt, but like something that did also help me with that was that's around the time I started listening to Chapo Trap House.
I will listen to it. I swear.
Huh? I honestly think you would like it. Like,
I probably will.
there's a I can't remember. There's a playlist somewhere. Somebody who was a really cool person. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, Then.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm taking a drink.
Oh, sorry. There was a really cool person who, on their Patreon, they have this tier, which is like if you donate $5 or more, you get like premium episodes. And one of them was the one I sent you about the right-wing cartoonists. And someone who was a Patreon donator like took all of the premium episodes and put them up on like a different website.
Yeah.
And like they labeled it like the premiums have been liberated or something like that. I'll have to link you at some point. It's like, but like, I love that show. It's the only podcast I've ever bought a shirt from.
I actually don't listen to a lot of podcasts. The only one I listen to on a regular basis is OSW Review. It's mainly just because it's a wrestling podcast.
I really love their ECW episodes.
Yeah.
They are amazing to listen to just for what bar, like that's my favorite segment.
Yeah. I love when they came up with the what bar. It's like, what bar is Virgil?
Also,
He is.
real quickly, I saw this. Ben asked thoughts on the
Catalonia
referendum. Yeah, Spain really fucked up with that one. Like, I have, like, legitimately, whoever fucking told the Spanish police, like, yeah, just beat down people to get the voting boxes. Like, yeah, bad fucking move, bad optics, dude. Like, way to fucking totally justify what the fucking independence people are fucking saying about, like, the Spanish government being fucking fascist pricks.
Dropping the ball.
I kind of expect that to happen in, next presidential election for Trump to do that.
Like, this is legitimately going to bring back, like, the radical, like, this might end up reviving the radical, like, Cantalini. I can never fucking pronounce names good. It's probably going to end up bringing back, like, the more radical elements.
Another thing I would recommend is like you just reminded me of something was there's a show on YouTube called I think it's The Majority Report with Sam Cedar.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Like it's would you describe it as more of a left wing or just like leftist kind of show?
I don't know.
I would say leftist because it does have like the guys from Chapo and like they get a lot of not really Democrats but more like socialists and uh, others of that ilk on it. But there was an interesting video that got uploaded on that channel a couple days ago, and it was a caller called into the show from Germany, and he kind of talked about how the like far right German like fascist party has kind of started to gain ground.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they got 13% of the vote.
yeah, it was really fascinating to hear because this guy was like he's basically like an Antifa member in Germany. And his description of it was like,
yeah, it's like this shit's coming back here. Everybody should be scared.
yeah.
Isn't Antifa from Germany initially?
I think it has its roots there, kind of. They take a lot of it from. I've noticed like a lot of the music comes from like British punk, so like they definitely have that kind of culture in it. But I think
I also don't know much about Spanish. I know a little bit, but that's more like the time, like the Muslim versus Christian times of Spanish history.
the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, and a bit of that too. But like Spain, from what I remember, Spain's kind of like Italy to an extent, where like all of the regions are fairly independent for most of the history, and it wasn't until relatively, well, not like relatively recently, like say Germany, which only existed as a country for like 40 years before World War One.
The only thing I know about the Spanish Inquisition is you don't want to sit in the comfy chair.
Yeah, that's the one.
I did a paper in college about the Spanish Inquisition.
I have to say, I love Monty Python's joke about
Crazy.
it. My favorite is still, oh God, what's it? Mel Brooks, the Inquisition song.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
History of the world.
I also know a bit about the Spanish Civil War, because that's like Spanish Civil War is a good lesson in like never trust fascists.
Really sucks that we keep repeating that mistake for some reason.
I don't get it either, because like there hasn't been one fascist country where it's like worked out. Like with communism, I'm not saying any of the communist countries are fucking like utopians or shit. But like Cuba's still around. Vietnam's still around. China's still around. I know China's like I'm not even gonna count North Korea. Like North Korea's fucking a monarchy, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like we have, like worldwide, I think we've gone farther left, but they're kind of stuck in this kind of liberal thinking where it's like, well, both sides need to be able to talk about what they want. And like they're willing to say that fascists are like fucking disturbed, like fucked up, but they're not willing to completely condemn them because they don't want to take away from this. Well, we have to hear people out, kind of thing. I don't know. ContraPoint's put it better than I can.
So
It's like Dan Harmon said about like fascism's like a cancer.
Yeah.
Like
I
if
fucking
anything,
love that.
if anything, like like Soviet style communism or Shinto style communism or like any of like the real world, like not the hypothetical like version of communism that's never actually gotten off the ground because pricks never get past the part where they have to dissolve the party.
What were you saying, Zen?
I was just like, since I've been reading a
Communism's
lot
like
about,
polio, I'd say.
uh,
Communism's like polio. It'll fuck you up, but it doesn't necessarily kill you.
What were you saying a second ago?
I don't know, I was like, I basically have 2 books about American Nazi movements. One's about the German American Bund Association, which I haven't read yet. I haven't started reading. Another one is about George Lincoln Rockwell, who was the leader of the American Nazi Party. And it's like a lot of the stuff you're seeing today was the shit that was going on in like the 60s like the 50s and 60s with the American Nazi Party.
Mm-hmm.
Like even it's like, oh, cultural Marxists, like, or just Marxism and communism. It's like, oh, they're fucking evil. It's like, you're also pretty fucking evil, dude. It's like,
Oh yeah, it probably like like it probably wouldn't have ended well either way. How the Spanish War, Civil War ended, maybe the Republicans would have done good, but like it was basically a 3-way war between like technically a 4-way war, like if you add in like the communists and shit. But like you had the Republicans, the fascists, the anarchists. Like the anarchists probably would have ended up fucking up shit. Like Spain would have just became like the Ukrainian free territory.
it's weird how little play Spain gets. Like, you don't really hear a lot about Spain, or at least I don't, because I don't watch the news or read the news that much because of how depressing it is.
Also, ultimately, like the good thing with like the Spanish fascists and Franco in particular, Franco was a fucking idiot. Juan Carlos of Spain was able to fucking trick him into making him his successor, and then as soon as fucking Franco died, Juan Carlos was like, you know what, no more fascism. The shit's stupid. I mean, to be fair, he did reinstitute the monarchy, which was kind of shit, but you know what? He tricked the fascist and ended fascism, so like I'll give him a pass. I'll kind of give him a bit of a pass, just a smidge.
I've heard the theory before, and I really love it, that all evil people throughout history, like the really fucked up people, were like just doing really idiotic things and just acting like idiots. And the theory is basically that they were all like Sideshow Bob, where it was like they were these masterminds, but they were just fucking running into rakes just constantly.
It pretty much is. Like,
Well, it's like Hitler, when you first hear about him, he sounds like this really intimidating guy. And then, like, we're at the point now where he's just like the butt of every joke possible that you think of. Like, everything about him is just like he is a coward and he's like portrayed as this idiot, essentially.
If
I mean, I don't know.
that's kind of,
Hitler was like a junkie. Because he got addicted to fucking amphetamines during World War One. It was basically feeding their soldiers that shit. Also, constantly shit his pants. That's actually why Hitler was a vegetarian. Like he wasn't a
Yeah.
vegetarian for moral reasons. He had really bad like because he got fucking caught in a chemical attack. And it fucked up his inside, so like he couldn't like digest meat anymore. Good.
I was reading a book by Paul Offit. It was Pandora's Laboratory or something, Pandora's Lab, and there was a section on fuck. The guy who created like mustard gas and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he didn't start out doing that. He started out making fertilizer to help the world. And he was just like, oh, I'm going to make this horrible chemical weapon. Kill people. Like,
Wasn't there something? Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Wasn't there something where like phosphorus was discovered because like there was some scientist who just kept his piss in a basement or something, like he kept in jars?
I would surprise me.
I remember like I remember reading somewhere that like Martin Luther. That's another one I always think of, where it's like this guy who's seen as like a really triumphant figure in history, and apparently he would just refuse to leave his room while he was doing his writing. So like he like actually shit in a cauldron most of his life. Like he was a shun-in, basically.
I mean, to be fair, that was like the time, like that was back when it was socially acceptable to just shit in a pot and throw it out the window.
Yeah, but he was like he wouldn't leave his, like he could have gone to a bathroom or something. Like he could have gone somewhere else, but he would just sit on it while he was writing or something.
I totally forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Martin Luther. No. Wasn't Martin Luther kind of an asshole besides that?
He was like an anti-Semite, I think. He said something like the Jews were the biggest enemy of Germany, I think. I shouldn't say that.
Well, the Jews have always gone run rap in Europe.
Yeah.
They were blamed for the fucking plague. Fuck it.
Set fire to the synagogues or the schools. Jesus. On the Jews and their lies. That was the name of. He wrote a 65,000 word.
There was a. Sorry.
No, I'm just kind of looking at this right now.
It's really funny reading shit about George Lincoln Rockwell, because like at a lot of steps he could have like stopped being such a worthless piece of shit. Like, and he was a piece of shit. He was married, but his wife wasn't like subservient, so he fucked off to Iceland, I think. Met a woman there, divorced his wife, married that woman, had kids with her, and then, like, when he became an out just like white supremacist and Nazi, his wife's dad is like, her wife's dad is like, yeah, no, I'm gonna take my daughter back to Iceland because fuck you. It's basically what happened. And then there's a great scene that's described in the book where he's sitting in his house. The power's been turned off. I think the water was turned off. All the windows are fucking broken. And he's just sitting there. And then like one of his friends is just like comes into his house and is like here's $20. Let's get some food. And it's like it's a great fucking scene of just like a Nazi just sitting in his house, dark, cold, just wanting to kill himself. It's like, yeah, that's what you should want to have to happen. And that's what should happen.
Okay. I'm gonna end this one
Okay.
a little early because my shower's fixed now.
Right.
Finally found out why my shower knobs kept breaking. The assholes who built this house, they didn't put gears in the shower knobs.
I am glad the mystery has been fucking solved. I remember you bringing that up for the first time, and I didn't think anything about it, but you kept talking about it later on. I was like, you really need, like, I hope that gets fixed.
It's too cold to take a fucking bath outside anymore.
Oh, God. Just use a hose.
You know. So anyways, I'm going to go, yeah. Take a nice bath hose. Or hose bath.
I don't think I've ever...
Anyways, I'm going to go... I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just like, I don't think I've ever done that before, but I've heard so many people tell me they did that when they were little.
Well,
I
you
can,
gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah.
Ugh. Wait, sorry, I got distracted by something. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'll probably be in the because like this is why I scheduled this for 12 because I was like, you know what? Let me maybe do these a little earlier so these could be longer because I got D&D tonight.
Oh, that's right. Is
I'm,
it? It's not your game, right?
So yeah, it's on Savir's channel. So like the last time I did like a super long Sundays with Napalm, I fell asleep during in Savir's game because I didn't have time to like do other shit before the game. I don't know. I'll figure out something, but I'll have to wait until next time. See you guys later. And I hit the stop button, but everything